Hello, how's everybody doing today? This is Mickey. Well, we're just coming off the holiday season, and if you were like me and had a lot of friends and relatives over taking pictures with their point and shoot using a flash, and invariably that ends up with red eye in some of the pictures. Now, some of the newer cameras that are coming out, they have a red eye correction that fires a pre-flash, which constricts your pupils and then kind of gets rid of that red eye. But more often than not, you're going to have friends or family come by and say, I know you know photographs, so could you fix the red eye in these pictures? And that's when you use the red eye correction tool in Lightroom. Now I want to go over this because it really doesn't get any love and much attention because it's not used that much anymore. But when you have to use it, it does an excellent job. So let's just go through some of the bits and pieces of this to see how we can correct these pictures really easily. Alright, let's get started and see how this red eye correction tool works. First thing we want to do, of course, is get a picture of some people that have red eye, and we want to zoom in so we can see the eyes really good. And a little shortcut for that is hold your shift key down and drag to the right and it'll zoom in. Drag to the left, it zooms out. So we'll zoom in about like this. Let go of your shift key, click and drag to bring the eyes in focus, about right here. And we go over here to the red eye reduction tool, correction tool right here, and click on it. Now as you can see, we have two options, red eye and pet eye. So we're going to concentrate on the red eye, and we'll go over the pet eye in a few minutes with a couple pets to show you the difference, because there are some differences in the way the tool works. The first thing we want to do is click on red eye for humans, and we want to go to the eyes that we want to start working on. So we'll start at this one. You want to place the crosshairs in the center of the eye, click your mouse button and drag out, and I usually make it about the size of the whole eye socket and release. And as you can see, it's put a little area right in the eye. Now we can adjust that. If you hit your H key, you can see the area that the eye correction grabbed. And if we grab the sides of it, we can change the size of the pupil coverage. All right. If it's not right in the center, you can place your little hand over the center and move it around and get it exactly centered on the eye where you want. Now if we look over to the right hand side, you can see here we can also adjust the pupil size. Adjust the pupil size about like this. And we can darken it, so we can make it darker or lighter depending on what you need. So those are our options when we're placing it. So let's do that again. We're going to put our crosshair over the center of the eye, click our mouse button, hold and drag. And like I said, I usually go about the size of the whole eye socket, about like this. All right, and this one, it doesn't look like we got quite as much. So we're going to increase the pupil size and we're going to darken it. If you find that it didn't get like you wanted, if you click on the eye that you just worked on and hit the delete key, it will remove it. All right. Now, if you use the reset key, it's going to remove all the eye correction, red eye correction. So don't just click on that thinking you're just going to get rid of one eye. And if we had corrected more over here, these two eyes, it would have removed it all. All right. So we want to click on red eye. We want to hover over the center of the eye and let's make it just a little bigger. I find that if you make it a little bigger, it corrects it just a little bit more. Now here we can see that it did probably make the right size, but let's just drag it over. Looks good right there. We're going to change the size a little bit, about like this. Don't think we need to darken it really much, maybe just a little bit. So there we have that eye. Now let's go over to this gentleman here. I'm going to hold my space bar down and drag to bring him more toward the center of the screen. I'm going to put my cursor right in the center of his eye and draw out here. And you can see it did it almost perfect. No reason to make it bigger. You can if you want by changing the pupil size. If you want to make it darker, you could make it a little darker like that. And let's hit this last eye. Click in the center, drag out. Perfect. If you want to change the pupil size, you can, or darken it. And remember, if you hover over the pupil, you can move it around and reorient it. Sometimes it doesn't hit exactly center, and you resizing it doesn't get it where you want, but grabbing it will make the changes that you want. Now if we hit our space bar, go to, oops, excuse me about that. Let's go back to our regular view, hit the space bar, and you can see that it looks really good. Good way to clean up those red eyes. All right, let's move on to a pet and see what we can do. All right, now let's take a look at some pet eyes. Pet eyes are a little different. Animal eyes are different than ours in that they have an extra membrane that reflects light back so they can see better in the dark. And because of that, we get this bright green or bright red, even a bright gold in some of these animals when the flash shines directly in their eyes. To start out with, we're going to go over to Pet Eye under Red Eye Correction and choose the Pet Eye option. And then we're going to hover over and going to select the eye just like we did in humans, about that size there. And as you can see, it does a really good job. Now, once we have the correction in place, I want you to look over here. You can see you do have pupil size, so you can change the pupil size. Darken does not work, all right? It's only for human eyes, so don't try to do anything. It is what it is. It'll be darkened out, and it won't be available for pet eyes. Well, what you do have for pets that you do not have for humans is the catch light. Now let me hit the H key to turn off our guidelines, our guide circles, and you can see there's a little catch light here. We can turn that off and on. All right. Now if we hit the H key again to bring this back, you notice that we do have the ability to change the size and shape of the eye. If you hover over this center circle, this is to move the catch light. So we can put the catch light in a different area, just like this. Then if you hover outside the catch light over the pupil, you can also use that to recenter or change the shape or location of the pupil of the eye. All right, so let's just make this a little bigger. Let's do it over here to this eye. Click right in the center, drag out. If you don't like where the catch eye is, we'll hit the H key and we'll look. See, we're getting kind of wonky here. So let's go over here and we're going to move this to about the same location. So the catch light looks good there. If you wanted the catch light in a different place, just click on it, hit the H key so you can see your tool, move the catch light around, or resize the shape and size of the pupil. Hit the H key again, and there's your eyes on your pet. Well, I hope this video helped out. I know the red eye correction tool is not something we use every day, so it's good to have a little refresher to see what the tool can and can't do as we try to correct some of our photographs. I want to thank everybody for the support I got in 2024. It was just amazing how many people subscribed and the notes and emails I get every single day for more content. And as my new resolution, I want to try to do at least one video session a week. I don't know if I'm able to pull that off, but I'm sure as heck going to try. And until then, can't wait to see you again.